Arsenal's 10 worst signings of all time including Kallstrom and Chamak. Former Arsenal and Sweden midfielder Kim Kallstrom is celebrating turning 39 on Tuesday. The Swede spent 6 months on loan in North London, but the midfielder's career at the Emirates didn't work out in the way that it was hoped. While the Gunners have signed a number of world-class talents throughout their long 135-year history, Kallstrom is not the only player to have flopped for Arsenal over the years. Some thankfully arrived on a free transfer, while others left owners reaching into their pockets. With Kallstrom's birthday in mind, in no particular order Daily Star Sport looks back on the 10 worst players who have joined Arsenal. Arsene Wenger decided to sign the Sweden international on loan from Spartak Moscow in 2014, despite discovering a back injury during his medical. Kallstrom joined in the January transfer window, but didn't make his first team debut until late March in a cameo appearance against Swansea. However, Kallstrom's time in England was short-lived, and the midfielder left the Gunners for Swiss outfit Grasshoppers after making just 4 appearances. Who is the worst Arsenal signing in this list? Let us know in the comments section. When Chamakh scored 7 Premier League goals during his first season in England, Arsenal fans were slightly optimistic about the striker. However, after a poor second season under Wenger, Chamakh was sent out on loan to West Ham, where he made just 3 league appearances for the Hammers. But the Moroccan forward's form continued to deteriorate, and just 2 years after joining Arsenal, Chamakh was gone. Chamakh called time on his playing career in 2019 after almost 2.5 years searching for a club. The Moroccan forward later revealed that he felt he deserved more first-team opportunities than he was given under Wenger. "I played for 6 months, I scored goals, I was decisive," the Morocco international argued. In January 2011, Robin van Persie returned from injury and overnight, "I landed on the bench without justification," he said. "It is clear that I am a little annoyed at Wenger because I think I deserved more playing time than what I was given." As the year began, at the start of the season, he told me that we might change tactics and maybe I would be able to play up front with Robin. The fact that the Brazilian's Arsenal career is most famous for swapping shirts with Robin van Persie at halftime in a key Premier League match against Man United is worrying. Santos lacked speed, positional awareness, and looked out of shape, which saw face scrutiny throughout his short spell at the Emirates. Santos's Gunners' nightmare was finally brought to an end when the left-back returned to Brazil to join Flamengo after a loan spell at Grêmio. The central defender struggled to adapt to the physical demands of the Premier League during his time at Arsenal. The Frenchman joined the club from Sevilla in 2010, but was released in 2013 after making just 23 league appearances. Squillaci covered for the injured Thomas Vermaelen during his first campaign with Arsenal, but the centre-back slipped down the pecking order and featured only once in the league in 2 seasons. The South Korean was on his way to Lille until he walked out of a medical after hearing that Arsenal were interested in him. The forward was another peculiar signing under Wenger, and his Arsenal career was not helped by a lack of first-team opportunities. Park was loaned to Celta Vigo and then Watford before leaving altogether in 2014 after making only 1 Premier League appearance for the Gunners. It seems as if Bischoff's spell at Arsenal was over almost as soon as it had begun. Wenger himself described the signing of the midfielder as a gamble due to his countless knee problems. 1 season and 1 cameo appearance later, and Bischoff was on his way out of the club. Bischoff later reflected on his Arsenal career in an exclusive interview with Goal, where he revealed that he left the club after a lack of playing time. "It wasn't easy to decide to leave because I was injured," Bischoff said. "But I came back and gave it my all. Then the question came up whether to stay or to leave. I talked to Wenger, and then we decided that it might be better to leave the club because I wanted go play more games for the first team." Fox in the box Jeffers never lived up to his name in the slightest at Arsenal. At previous club Everton, Jeffers was seen as one of the brightest prospects in English football, but all that optimism fell flat on its face under Wenger. Constant injury problems got in the way of the striker's development, and the striker exited the club without leaving his mark after 4 disappointing seasons. Flop Perez arrived from Spain with high hopes after netting 24 times in 59 appearances for Deportivo. Unfortunately though, this was not mirrored in England, and the Spaniard managed just 1 Premier League goal during his only season at the Gunners. Perez's Gunners' nightmare was brought to an end when West Ham signed the forward after a season-long loan back in Spain with Deportivo. After failing to convince then Hammers boss Manuel Pellegrini, Perez returned to Spain with Alaves, but has recently had his contract terminated by the club. While Perez will be remembered as a failure, Miyachi probably won't even be remembered at all. That's largely because the Japanese midfielder appeared once in the Premier League for Arsenal, despite spending 4 seasons at the Emirates. Miyachi's time in North London consisted of no fewer than 5 loan spells, including at Bolton and Wigan Athletic, when both were competing in the Premier League. While some waited months, or even years to make their club debut, others never made theirs at all. A series of work permit issues got in the way of Silva's career at Arsenal during the 6 seasons he spent at the club. It took 4 years for the work permit issues to sort, but the Brazilian winger didn't play anyway. 6 loan spells later, Silva rejoined boyhood club Fluminense after an almost non-existent career at Arsenal.